Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for the PHNX Suns postgame show. Brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I wish that everyone listening could see Saul Bookman right now.
Yes.
Flexing in your really nice, awesome shirt there.
Yes.
Care to tell us about it?
What I love about this is you signed it, Jay.
Fuck Jay Crowder.
Hey, I'm going to just say this right now because compliments of our friends over at Stat Muse. Cam Johnson had 29 points and 7 threes. It's more points than Jay Crowder has ever scored as a Phoenix Sun in a game.
Yeah. This was such a fun game to watch. Like, it was so enjoyable, especially because our pregame show, like, Cam was such an area of, like, emphasis. Like, we need Cam to have a good game. Like, Cam, this is your time to shine. And Cam came out and did just that in this win for the Phoenix Suns over the Minnesota Timberwolves, 116-107. And, it's just I think he's arrived now, right? We said we saw on Sunday. We had a really good start. Whoa. We had a really good end. Let's put together a full 4 quarters. Okay, we at least got a full 4 quarters.
We've seen this movie before, though.
This was Cam versus the New York Knicks. Then he got kneed in the leg, and we never saw him again. This is Cam returning. Now I need to see it consistently, not to this level, but consistently without a
setback. A setback, yeah. Hey, listen, I said it earlier tonight.
Let me have this.
I said it earlier tonight. The thing that separates Cam Johnson from other people that are on this team is that when I have doubted them, Cam Johnson showed up and he showed out, and he has been for the last couple of games, whereas other people, Landry, have not. They just fizzle away and miss layups at the end of the game. Hey, so listen, Cam Johnson was freaking amazing, and he was every bit of a reason why the Suns won tonight.
If you're going to call him out, call him by his proper name. Landry Shamet is now Dollar Store Booker, and that's what you should call him. That was ugly from Landry, but Cam, to your point, finds a way to prove it. Every time that little bit of doubt sneaks in, he comes through and reminds you, elite shooter, guy that can score at will in most cases, and if he's healthy, can be a huge part of this starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not where it stops, though, tonight.
It's not. It's interesting because obviously we got to give a little bit of credit to Anthony Edwards, right? He did a solid job defending Devin tonight. But even though he was able to kind of keep Devin from fully going off, when you have Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson playing the way that they did tonight, you're in the clear. Like, is that going to be our new thing this year? Like, instead of when you got Devin Booker and CP in the last 5 minutes of a game, you're good? Is it going to be when you've got Cam and Mikal ready to go in the wings? You're good to go?
That was one of the things that we had talked about before the season started, was this team, in my opinion, was only going to go as far as those two and DA took them. It wasn't about Devin. It wasn't about CP3. It was about those three specifically. And those two were phenomenal tonight. They played very complimentary basketball. It was like Cam would do it on the offensive end. Mikal was doing it on the defensive end. Mikal did his part on offense.
Cam did his part on defense.
Cam did his part on defense, blocking some shots. Like, it was a terrific all around effort. And the thing I'm going to say is, if you didn't see our pregame show, Espo had talked about, well, they're going to have to go big to match up with their bigs, and I said, no. You play your own game, you play your own style, and you dictate the way this game is going to go. You make them adjust to you. And what happened tonight? They didn't go with a double big lineup except for a brief second with Saric and Jock Landale. But they didn't go, Bismack and Jock at the same time or anything like that. They didn't try to match their bigs. They made their bigs work. Cat was running all over the place, trying to get through screens, trying to cover Cam, and it just did not happen. 29 points is the obvious reason why.
Look, I say a lot of stupid shit, but if you're going to come at me correctly.
Okay, well,
I said to go small.
This guy said
I said Okogie
Josh
was going to
get 10 to 20 minutes tonight. And I said he's
got
not
a big
fucking
fat
playing.
0. I did not say go double bigs, though. Come on. They didn't have enough bigs to go double bigs tonight. So.
Okay, let me read
Look
you
at the
these
tape.
stat lines just so you guys have all of the information from Mikal and Cam. So Cam finished with 29 points. He had 3 steals, 1 block, and 3 assists, okay? Mikal finished with 19 points. He had 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, and a block as well. Like, that's a solid line from both of those guys. And that proves to your point. Both sides of the floor, we saw both of them getting after it tonight, which was so much fun to watch. Like, just the movement out there was a blast. The defense, phenomenal. Like, it was... I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but I feel like this team has... I don't even know if this is jumping the gun. I just feel like they've got more tools in their bag this year than they did in years past. They get it more. They're literally growing right in front of us.
I hate to say it like this because we all hate the Spurs and what they did to us. But if you remember those Spurs days, they were just so stupidly methodical. Like they took advantage of every single little weakness you had. They just wore you down, and they took advantage of you. And that's what the Suns do. I mean, midway through that first quarter, you could see that the Suns had kind of flipped a switch and they kind of figured out some of the things that they could do with the Timberwolves. Like I said, making Cat work. They realized quickly, and I'll give the Suns credit to this, and Devin Booker credit for this as well. Anthony Edwards is a very tough matchup for Devin Booker because he's very athletic. He's just as strong, and he's got quick bounce, meaning he can contest those shots and sometimes even block them. So what Devin did was he became more of a playmaker in that first half. He scored some buckets, of course, but he was more of the playmaker because he understood, like, okay, I can't force this. I just got to let the game come to me. I got to get other guys involved. Otherwise, we're not winning this game, and that's beautiful.
And you know what? Despite all that Anthony Edwards was able to do on Book tonight, Book still finished with 18.7 rebounds and 5 assists.
And that's without playing most of the last 7 minutes.
Like, that's a bad night for Book.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
I mean, yeah, I can. At this point, yeah.
We said the bar was 30. So
I know, that's true.
He was awful tonight.
Look, tonight was...
Straight garbage. Be better, Devin.
Lindsey.
Wow, Lindsey.
Whoa,
Oh, God,
whoa.
pump the brakes. She wants to trade Devin Booker already. I mean, come on.
I mean, I'll hold on to him for a little longer.
Look, tonight was proof that James Jones and his whole thought of internal development is one that could pan out, right? You saw Cam and Mikal take center stage tonight. We had not seen that a lot, and that's what this team really needs is those two guys to step up and some nights be that. Even in the playoffs, some nights one of them being kind of that center of attention for both offensively and defensively, and that's what they're doing and did tonight, and that's encouraging, right? Because so much is predicated on that, especially come playoff time, because those were the guys that kind of at times disappeared last playoffs that you really need. And tonight is a night where CP3 shot terribly. I mean, 5 of 12, didn't play great offensively. Devin Booker struggled, no DA. And you still handle your business and take care of a Timberwolves team that a lot of people thought were a sleeping giant in the West this year.
Okay, I have a question for the chat. First and foremost, just tell us who you think the king of the game is going to be, because it's between the twins, obviously. So you guys vote while I ask you this question. Do you think, like, to your point with this whole, like, people thought that this might be something for the Timberwolves, do you think they kind of shot themselves in the foot with this, or do you think it's just going to take time for them to figure it out?
Listen, they're for as smart a team as the Suns are, the Timberwolves have a far, far way to go to really get to that level, and I don't think that's going to happen this year. There's a lot of growth that has to happen with that team. They're not as methodical and precise with their movements. Cat, for my take on Cat is he's he's very erratic for that offense and very for that team. And I just don't like watching his game, to be honest with you. There's nothing about Cat that I really like. And so I feel like it's just going to take some time. And plus the 2 center thing, that's odd. And not a lot of dudes grow up in AAU ball, in college, in high school, doesn't matter. They don't really get twin towers like that. And so to figure out what you're going to be doing with them and how you're going to be utilizing them and the sets you got to run to really effectively use both of them, it's going to be tough. And Rudy Gobert's not that great of an offensive weapon anyway. So he's a liability on one side, and he's sometimes a deficiency on the other.
Look, I think they've massively miscalculated here. Yeah. Because Karl Anthony Towns, somewhat like DeAndre Ayton early on, has this fantasy of playing the 4, right? Being a power forward rather than a center. He's not. Then you bring in Rudy Gobert, so now you have 2 guys that are centers on there, which clog the lane for Anthony Edwards as well, a young guy that had been known as a high flyer in early on, and now you've clogged the lane there. I think this is going to be a failed experiment. I do not think this is going to work for this Minnesota team, and it's going to look ridiculous, the price that they paid for Rudy Gobert to really screw up what looked like a team that was on the rise in the West.
I think that's the worst part about all of this is even if this pans out and they're a decent team, I still think they gave it way too much.
Yeah, they gave it way first of all, they gave up so much that they basically crucified the entire offseason for every other team because the big moves that could have been made were now like everybody was like, wait, pump the brakes. They gave up what for Gobert? Well, then we have to get that too. And nobody was trying to make a move at that point.
Yep.
Can I, before we name the
King of the
game, can we go back in the chat to one Mr. Tony Totri? Anthony says, Cam dog, Mikal dog, Paul dog, Espo puppy. Guess what, Totri? Puppies are cute. They're cuddly
People
and
love
they're lovable,
puppies.
just like Espo. So suck it, Totri.
Espo has that puppy dog in him.
I gotta hear
That reminds me, what's that TikTok? Because that's my baby dog. That one?
That's just my baby dog.
That's what that reminds me of.
Totri was sitting at home going, oh, that was a good one.
like,
I burned him. Nope. Nope.
All right, let's go ahead and name our Draft King of the game. Everyone in the chat is absolutely correct. The answer is, of course, Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson had a season-high 29 points tonight. He was 10 of 17 from the field, 7 of 11 from deep. He had himself a night, and he deserves the crown.
Go ahead.
Spectacular crown placement. Good work, Emma.
That was a good fro king right there.
Yeah, I was really stressed out about that one.
That was smooth. I like
because I was trying to get it like on his hairline.
It almost looked like it
do.
sat into his fro, which was nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Cam was awesome. You listen, after the first 3 shots he took tonight, I was like, what the fuck are we about to watch? He missed a layup. He missed missed wide open 3. Like it wasn't looking too hot. And then he hit his first 3, settled in. And then really he was off to the races after that. I thought he played probably one of his better games as a Sun. The only one that could have possibly topped it was the New York Knicks game. I thought tonight was probably his second best effort in his career.
I thought it was his best overall. Offensively, probably second best. But you mentioned he missed those first 3 shots in the first minute and a half. Went 10 of 14 the rest of the way. Yep. I mean, and then you look at it, you throw in 3 assists, 3 steals, a block, 2 rebounds. Like, it was a little everything. This wasn't just he got hot from 3, which he did, but he also did it on both ends of the court. So great game from Cam, and can't wait to see more of this.
Yes.
Stay healthy, give me more of this, and you're going to get your bag. You're going to get more than that 80 some odd million you reportedly wanted. You're going to push that 100 million mark if you keep going at this rate.
I saw quite a few people on Twitter today being like, if this is the Cam we get majority of this season, or in games like this where it makes sense for Cam to have a game like this, he's going to push well over 100 mil. Yeah, and we're going to be kicking ourselves for not locking him in sooner.
Again, if he does that, then you're probably talking about a team that will make the Western Conference Finals at the worst. and then the finals and possibly a championship at the best, because that's the thing you were relying on. You were relying on a consistent third or fourth option. And if he's dropping 20 to 25 a game, NBA, you're toast. Yeah. You're toast.
Look, if you get the defensive effort that you got from Mikal tonight and an offensive effort, 18 to 20 points from Cam Johnson, I'll go further. The Phoenix Suns will be the NBA champions if you get that consistently, from them, especially come playoff time. Nobody will be able to stop this. It'll be the most effective starting lineup in the league, and it already is pretty damn close to that as it is. So
remember the Adelaide 36ers?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a while back. Huh?
Yeah, remember the media day that was supposedly a funeral?
So long ago.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Hey, remember in the pregame show when I said you guys should take the over on Cam Johnson's points tonight?
Yeah, you got that right.
Hey, yo.
Good work, Lindsey.
Cam Johnson came through for us on the DraftKings Sportsbook app tonight because I took the over on his points that were set at, I think, 14.5. And it was like a plus 115, or no, a minus 115. So it wasn't like a huge.
You still won.
Huge payout, but still a winner nonetheless.
Damn,
if you guys have not downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet, you absolutely should do so. And make sure you use the promo code PHNX when you sign up, because when you use that promo code, you can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Also, all DraftKings Sportsbook app users can boost your winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlay. So it's super simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code PHNX. Again, promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Well, Were you just looking in your app right now?
Yeah.
It was a little sad.
It was a little sad because
I heard the sigh.
Jock Landale only had one freaking rebound tonight. I thought definitely he would have over 5.5, so I missed out on that one pretty bad.
Yeah, I had him as a double, or a doobie double. So
yeah, he didn't come through, but you know who did come through? OGs and folks. We have some freaking huge news to really announce. We re-signed with OGs.
We got the bag.
OGs definitely is. Listen, if you follow them on Twitter, if you follow them on Instagram, you see like, hey, we're gonna be linked for life. Like that brand just gets us. We get them. It's been a phenomenal partnership already. Do we have the graphic? No. I'm just going to be sleeping on that. Okay, cool.
That?
Just wondering if we were going to pull that up. So
she took the new sleep gummies.
But yeah. The sleep gummies are money. I have gone through 3 bags of them because they're just awesome. And it's a nice little CBN modifier, and it helps you sleep through the night. And it doesn't make you feel groggy or sleepy when you wake up. It's just a nice, clean sleep. I don't know if that's such a thing, but that's what
it's like one of those sleeps where you don't have any accidental like rollover. You wake up, like a sound kind of makes you come out of your dream state. It's just solid all the way through. Never too high, never too low. We're just solid when we have OG sleep.
Did you call it a nice, clean sleep as opposed to a bad, dirty sleep?
Yeah,
I just figure like a clean sleep is like you don't accidentally wake up, like you don't hear.
I'm not tossing and turning. I'm not sweating through the night. I'm not like all that stuff. Like
you don't have to adjust the blankets, and your cat doesn't step on you. I don't know.
Clearly, you've never had a nice, clean sleep.
Clearly,
no, I haven't.
But you can if you just take some OGs. They're a phenomenal brand. Obviously, we have so many other things in store besides just that. Some events going on. They'll be tag teaming with us on some of our trips around the country that'll be coming up. So stay tuned. But once again, if you're going to partake in OGs, make sure you're 21 and over and enjoy responsibly.
But by the way, Girthlings, yet again, you disappoint me.
Why?
We've got well over 200 people watching live, and we have 49 likes. You must not want to hear it. And I was going to do it as Nookie Monster today.
Oh, no. I thought we already did that.
Yeah, why are we going back to
that was an ad read, huh?
That was an ad read. Get to over 100 people. Just make it happen.
Sometimes, though, Espo, I will say this. Sometimes you just got to give the people what they want after a big win. You don't have to just pander for this stuff. Yeah.
Should I just give it to them?
Just give the people what they want.
Since the Nookie Monster makes you so uncomfortable, I won't do it as that, all right?
Yeah, just do normal, Espo.
Yeah, the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. Suck it, Minnesota. Suck it, Twins. Suck it, Cat and Gobert and Eddie, KG. We'll go back to Christian Leitner. Just suck it.
You completely forgot who you were calling out, didn't you? For a
No,
split
I
second?
was just like,
You said
damn.
Twins, and I was like, well, our
I'll
Twins?
call them out all
Where?
the-
No, like
I'll
the
call them out
Minnesota
Vikings.
Twins.
The
the
Lynx.
Vikings, the Minnesota Lakers, yeah, all of them.
Every
Way
single
back.
one of you.
The entire state of Minnesota except Gerald's fiance.
Yes, and her
leave
family.
and her
That's it. They're the only
so.
ones that are safe. We got a super chat from Tracy. She said it's been requested. Espo say it. So there you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, anytime the wifey says you need to say it, you just need to say it.
Yes.
Yes, the Phoenix Suns.
Sorry, Saul.
So, Saul, you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier in the show, but the Suns, they were sweating the small stuff tonight. And in that, I mean, everything they did had a purpose. Break this down for us. Tell us what you were seeing.
So just overall, on both ends of the court, their rotations were pretty on point tonight defensively. And when we talked about the matchup between Rudy and Cat being the bigs, how that was going to affect the Suns down low, there was multiple times where Cat did have the ball down low against Cam Johnson, and I thought he did a very, very good job. And then every now and then they'd flash the double team. And when you flash the double team, it just causes a little bit more hesitation to where you can't just go balls to the wall, to the hoop, or whatever. And so I thought the rotations tonight were fantastic. Their best defensive effort to me all season.
Totally.
Offensively, they were just doing a lot of small things to free up other guys. Cam Johnson had some of the most exotic sets, either going to set a screen and then sneaking back out to be wide open at the top of the key that I've seen from the Suns, this season. So they're clearly trying to get him the ball in different kinds of ways, which I think is great. And then Mikal Bridges, oh my goodness. Every time you look at him make a play, it's like his arms get longer and longer and longer. Like there was the play at the rim. I was like, oh my gosh, look how long his arms. He's basically in the middle of the key and he's just dropping it into the basket.
He's
Honestly,
Jordan in Space Jam. He
it's
just
amazing.
keeps stretching.
sometimes you see actual real photos of Mikal and you're like, oh, that's photoshopped. And then you look at it
Yeah.
again and you're like, no, wait, that's
Yeah,
not. That's
no.
just Mikal and his
Weird-ass
wingspan.
arms.
For sure. And then defensively, obviously, Mikal was big. I thought overall, the bench had a good game until we got to the fourth quarter, and they kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And Monty did the right thing. He brought everybody back with 8 minutes left to go. And then Devin Booker picked up his fifth foul and sat with 7:27 to go right away. But everybody else picked up their way. I thought Cam Payne wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. I thought he was assertive. That's all I'm looking for from Cam Payne right now. Mm-hmm. He's assertive. He just needs to continue to be assertive as they go along. Jock, this was a bad matchup for Jock.
Yes.
Just like it was a bad matchup for Booker against Ant, it was a bad matchup for Jock because now this is when you see the athleticism and the versatility that DeAndre Ayton brings to the table versus the athleticism
right.
and the versatility that Jock brings to the table. Now, what I will say is if Jock ever finds the three-point stroke from beyond the arc, there it is. That's the differentiator. Mm-hmm. But until that happens, he's going to be less than an average size big, and those guys are going to take advantage of it. He had a rough time tonight.
Well, look, Jock is best when he's going against second string bigs. I mean, that's where he's going to make his money. And that's why he was averaging 10 and 5 coming into this game. So it doesn't shock me. I mean, how many big men struggle against Rudy Gobert when you got to go against him in the paint, both when you're playing offense and when you're trying to rebound. So it doesn't surprise me. But yes, it makes it very clear why you can't just plug any big in there, and you need DeAndre Ayton. I mean, that's tonight could have been an even better game, which is hard to believe this team has another gear because their starting center isn't in right.
Right, which I do think that as much as I have loved seeing Jock just find his spot here with the Suns, even though we jokingly said it on Sunday, right? The joke was if Jock keeps playing like this, the rumors around DA being unnecessary are going to start. I'm kind of glad that we had a night like this with Jock where, one, it's a learning lesson for him.
Yes.
We saw how he came out and spoke after the Portland game when he missed that little layup after he got the offensive rebound that would have put us into double overtime. It's a learning lesson for him, and I fully believe that Jock is one of those guys who internalizes those things and really focuses on how he can improve his game based off of the lessons he's learning throughout the season.
No doubt whatsoever about that.
Yeah.
No doubt at all. But again, like sometimes matchups, just like in boxing, matchups, styles make fights. And sometimes when you're faced with a team like this, something about them just throws you off. He got into some foul trouble. He wasn't really in a good rhythm all game. Still great energy. But it's a learning lesson for him, and he'll grow from it. Busy, on the other hand, he was really the X factor tonight.
Are we going to go as far as to call him the PHNX-Factor?
Yes, he was the PHNX-Factor. He was phenomenal tonight. The way he was able to really block, he blocked a lot of shots, but more importantly, he just got in the way of a lot of attempts at the rim. And listen, his length and his athleticism become a problem, especially for guys like Rudy Gobert and Cat, because you don't see that all over the league. So, again, all around solid performance by the Suns. Yes, they had a little bit of a hiccup in the fourth quarter, but can anybody else really honestly sit there and tell me that they were really nervous at that point? No. I still felt like, they still got this. This is okay. Like they're going to bring in the starters and everything's going to be fine. And that's exactly what happened.
Do I have this right? In the last 2 games combined, Bismack has 9 blocks.
Well, he had 5 the other night.
Game, 4 tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
9 block. That's a month for some centers in this league, and he had it in 2 games. Plus, offensively, he does just enough to where, it helps you. He had the 8 points. They were all close into the basket, some lobs, some tip-ins. Again, when you can have your third-string center step in and give you those kind of minutes as a starter, that's huge. These are the kind of holes that you're not going to have to worry about come playoff time. You're going to have guys that can fill in. So
the Suns' defense to me was the story of the night.
Oh yeah,
outside of Cam Johnson's 29, I thought the Suns' defense was just phenomenal. Again, I couldn't be more impressed with their rotations tonight and the way they were just communicating across the floor, and getting dirty. You got to get dirty with a team like this. Because if they start to feel themselves, then it can get really out of hand. And for a split second there, it looked like that. And whenever you have a guy like Anthony Edwards, just like we have a Devin Booker, who you never know when that moment's going to start, where they just start going off. Like, you have to be able to take advantage and throw things at them to keep them off balance. And the Suns did a really good job of that tonight.
Well, that didn't Ant hit a 3 right before Monty called that last time out to bring out the bench and
put the starters back in? He was getting hyped up. Yeah. And then they brought everybody back in and they shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah.
Which
is such a luxury to have a starting unit that comes in when they're getting momentum like that and just be like, we're going to stop this now.
Yeah, I think they went on a 19-8 run after they came back in. But the bench lineup that started the fourth, it was all bench players, right? That's Monty experimenting, right? We've asked for this. We said we need these guys to get those minutes, to get that experience. This bench learned a valuable lesson tonight, that a double-digit lead can disappear in the blink of an eye if you let off the gas at all. And they did that for part of that fourth quarter, but Monty let them experience that, let it get to 2, and then said, all right, time to close the door on these guys. I like that. I like that Monty is willing to do that so far this season.
I do too. And I'm glad that he called the timeout and brought the starters back in, because as much as I will tell you I'm okay with taking a few L's for them to grow, tonight was not a night that I was willing to do that. It was just such a good game, and Cam was having a night, Mikal was having a night. I was like, let's finish this with a W and just have like an overall great packaged game. They're
the most solid team in the NBA right now, from top to bottom. And nobody thought that the bench was going to be able to do what it's done. No, nobody. I don't care who you are. There's not a single person out there in Sunsdom that thought that the bench was going to be as good as it has shown already this season. Nobody expected it. And it's a very great surprise, but they still have a lot of room to grow. They have moves, more importantly, that they can make. But you can watch the best team in the NBA on Friday night with us as we take over the Footprint Center.
Yes.
50 of us deep into a section food, drink before the game at the Ainsworth, and we're gonna mob over. And I mean, it would be nice if we all had the same colored shirt on, but we probably won't.
Black. If we all wear a black shirt, everyone's got a black sun shirt.
There you go, a black sun
Pick a
shirt,
black
and we
one.
roll. Let's go.
You can see the best team in the NBA with the best podcast team in the NBA.
I thought you were gonna say the best bod in the
Well,
NBA.
yes, the best bod, me, in the NBA. No, but come on out. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, and no pregame show, so you might as well come out and just listen to us talk about the game.
This is
because
true.
we're not going to be on the pregame show.
You can come talk with us in real life. It's going to be a blast. And Gerald's going to come say hi. I promise. I will make that happen 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, Gerald. So buy a ticket. Come hang out with us. Links in the show notes, on Twitter, in the Discord, literally everywhere you can find it. It's super
mail
easy.
it to you if you like.
Yeah, DM Saul, Espo, all of us will send it directly to you.
We will have a post game. Yes, we will have a post game.
Yeah, we will have a post game still on Friday. So don't worry if you guys are out of state or if you can't make it for whatever reason. We'll still be here for you.
We're not
Just
sure
like
our level
normal.
of sobriety, but we'll be here.
No, I
for
plan on
post
getting
games.
fucking drunk.
Oh, dear God.
Let's go.
I
Blackout
can't
Saul is the
wait
funnest
for
Saul.
one of these. Oh, man. This is going to be a struggle bus. I'm really concerned. You know what? If you can't come hang out with us, you can still get drunk with Saul by picking up some Four Peaks before the game on Friday. Because then when you're on the post-game show with us, you and Saul will be on the same level, but you'll get drunk on really, really, really delightful beer.
Lindsey, if he passes out, it won't be the first time we've had to carry him. So
Oh, mean. If you pass out, Saul, I'm definitely going to draw like a mustache on your face. Just so you know. I 100% would draw on you.
All right, keep this shit up, you two.
I'll do it with like one of those, what are the dry erase markers instead of a Sharpie though, so it comes off really easy the next day.
Sure.
I won't be that mean. But speaking of Four Peaks, we are teaming up with them to host all U.S. and Mexico World Cup matches at their 8th Street pub. So plan to come hang out with us out there for those games. You can enjoy beer specials, giveaways, guest appearances, and so much more. Again, check the link in the show notes to register for free. Also, one more reminder, you do have to be 21 years or older to enjoy Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you enjoy responsibly. Also, Espo wants to tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy.
I was wearing this shirt
I was just watching Saul try to figure out how to adjust the shirt properly.
because it's like a schmedium.
A schmedium?
I don't like
It's like
it.
a slim fit?
Yeah, it's a slim cut.
If you want to help Saul afford shirts that fit, Underdog Fantasy is the way to go. Pick'em is my favorite. We've talked about it before. You can pick higher or lower. Tonight I would have lost a lot of money if I had gone straight at the jock line there like I did looking at it. But I think that if you're looking for a fun way to enjoy the game more when you're out with us on Friday, let's get in on Underdog, and if you put in up to $100, they'll match that deposit with the code PHNX, and let's have some fun. What are you laughing at?
Hey, Totri, since you're in the chat, you want to tell everybody how awesome Espo is at Madden? Because that's also the other reason why he's using Underdog, because it's the only place he can win anything ever. Period. Fantasy, not good.
Oh, no.
Madden, not good.
Are you guys
He's
in a
terrible.
fight?
Hold on,
I'm not gonna fight.
I'm
Are
not
you
bad
guys in a
fantasy.
fight now?
No,
Are you
no,
throwing
no.
strays at each other?
Look, I'm not
What's your
bad.
record?
I'm 4-4.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm in the middle of the pack in
Sorry.
our fantasy league. And,
Sorry,
but
I was 7-1.
Madden, I suck like real bad. Like I'm Landry Shamet levels of bad at Madden, and I'm willing to admit it. All right.
Tracy in the chat said, by the way, Saul, my 6-year-old knows what the F word is because of you. Rose says, quote, that's Mr. Saul's favorite bad word.
It's true.
I've done my
Oh,
job.
no.
This is what I do for the youth in America. I make sure that they understand that the F word is not bad if you use it in the right context.
Josh Hunt, Saul, bad influence Bookman.
Yeah, Saul and my daughter go together like pickles and peanut butter.
Totri, there
Some
you go.
people like
Espo's
pickles
bad
and
at
peanut
Madden,
butter.
really bad. My friend beat him by 100 per source.
No.
Oh my God, Espo.
120. Get it correct, all right? Because I don't care. I'm 38. I don't need to know how to play video games.
I
all right?
destroyed a 12-year-old last night in Madden, so
You guys,
that's what we do
guess
here.
what? We finally got a Dario Saric sighting.
Yay, the homie's back.
We finally did it, y'all.
Take him
like-
off the milk
finally
carton.
did it.
He played for like 5 minutes, though.
Okay, but still.
I wanted to see him more. I thought he was effective out there.
Yeah, I would have loved to
I
have
don't
seen more
understand
Dario,
what that
but
was
I'm
all
better.
about.
I will take what I can get at this point
I
because
think-
it seems like you're gonna get scraps.
He tripled his minutes played tonight. Like, let's give the man some love. Take him off the milk carton. Welcome him back to society. Dario Saric played a basketball game.
Do you think Monty saw our show and was like, oh, maybe I should get this guy in for a
No,
few
I
minutes?
Dude, I don't care what it was. I hope it was that, and he felt bad enough to put Dario out there because it wasn't even in garbage time minutes, you guys.
No,
No,
it
It was
second quarter.
midway through the second quarter, which is even better.
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat, and somebody that's interested in trading for Dario said, "You gotta play him a few minutes, so I actually know he can compete out there." And so they said, "We're gonna play him a few minutes, so you know he can compete out there."
They put him. They got some great stuff on tape for 5 minutes. They took him out. That's probably what they're going to use to try and pitch him to move him along. I mean,
Who's Dario
Listen.
Saric that Totrick's talking about?
All I'm gonna say is that
this is his brother-in-law,
If-
Dario Saric.
And Dario Saric at the cigar bar. Hey.
if that was the goal, well, then Dario exceeded the
you
expectation.
need to prepare
because
to have your heart broken.
I know,
okay?
I am, but I'm just
But I
saying.
don't think you are.
At least if that was the goal, Dario exceeded the expectations. In 5 minutes, we got 3 points from Dario on a 3. We got 3 rebounds, a steal, and an assist.
It was very effective.
An
like,
amazing
bro,
man
give
bun.
him 5 more minutes at least.
I don't understand why.
You don't want to
Why
damage
that
the
didn't happen.
merchandise before you sell it.
I mean, I suppose, but still. All I know is I'm just really glad that we got a little bit of Dario before what seems to be the inevitable happens. And Dario is no longer a member of the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, so sad. So
It
sad.
is.
Lindsey's homie is not going to be around much longer.
Yeah. Maybe-
Dario
maybe we
is
could
a very kind human being. I love Dario.
Maybe we could swap out that Hamburglar sweater for a Dario jersey.
This is my hamburger sweater.
Isn't it?
I'm not mad at that. Emma's dying.
Lindsey's like, yeah, I like the Hamburglar. What's
do.
wrong with that?
I do.
The dude stole from the rich and gave to the poor with hamburgers. Like,
Okay, you know when McDonald's had the adult
You know
kids
those people-
meals
Yeah.
and the hamburger was in there? I tried to get it like 3 times and I couldn't.
You know, I feel really bad because I'm like, I definitely went to that, like, somebody made a joke about you vibe, and then you get mad at the people that are laughing instead of the guy that says it. And Espo just like dogged on me. I tried to get him back, and then I turned it on you, and I'm like, oh, what a douchey move. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Lindsay. That you didn't deserve that. You caught us straight for no reason.
But I do like the hamburger. He's a pretty cool dude. I don't know.
Even Lindsay, when getting bagged on, can still find a way to make it positive. I don't know how she does it.
she's giving you flowers for insulting her shirt.
I did just get a note from Gerald 2 minutes ago that he is waiting on Cam Johnson and then he will be setting up.
Should we do a word today for him?
Sure.
Go for it. What kind of word do you want?
Oh.
Hamburglar?
If somebody could get Gerald to say Hamburglar, I'll buy
That
them
would
lunch.
be so hard.
No,
that
it's
would be
gotta be,
so hard. Real quick, Code said Lindsay would start Dario over 8. And no, I'm not that dumb. But I do want Dario on my team.
What do you think we could get him to say the homie?
Yes.
All right. Why
I
don't
think we
Okay.
could.
The
The
homie,
homie.
is
The
the
homie.
is the
I
phrase.
really think we could. That's a good one.
Yeah, the homie. Okay. Let's do it.
I got a question if you guys need something while you
Yes.
wait. Are you guys claustrophobic by any chance?
Yes.
No. I don't
Yes.
think so.
You are?
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever gone to Disney World?
Yeah.
You know the Mission Space ride, and you can go to like easy or hard level. I always go hard, and I don't know why, because I always want to yak like when we start lifting off. But that space is so close, and the screen's right here, and it's like half. You know, I'm hyperventilating, and half like I'm getting dizzy, and I'm gonna black out because the centrifuge is just spinning.
Okay, but you guys are claustrophobic.
Yes.
How does it feel that your brain is trapped inside your head?
Oh God, no.
It doesn't bother me.
I don't think that one bothers
No.
me.
If I had some OGs in my system right now, I would definitely be like, "What the fuck, man? What?"
My brain's where? It's like socks and trapping my toes, like we talked about earlier. Not my favorite thing.
Socks are trapping your toes?
Oh, you weren't there for this. I said socks are like straitjackets for the toes. They just
Because apparently Espo is wearing orthopedic freaking socks that
I hate
squeeze
socks.
down to your toe. Like, I can move my feet freely right now. I don't know what you mean.
I hate socks and shoes. I'm just gonna say.
I think you just need bigger socks then, or thinner socks maybe,
I don't
or are
know.
they too? I don't know. Espo.
Should I tell the story from?
Yes.
Should I?
Yes.
Ooh,
Do it.
okay.
I don't know
so
that I'm
Espo-
supposed to. This is another one. I didn't sign an NDA.
These
so
are
why couldn't
Sun's
I?
Tales with Espo.
Yeah, I've never actually told this one publicly for
man.
good reason, probably. So, if you remember in the pregame, I said that the only way I'd want Steve Nash to come back is if he replaced a certain someone as a color commentator on the radio, and there is a reason for this.
First of all, they're not a legend.
Well, no, yeah. If you're calling one TK Tim Kempton a Suns legend, you've fallen one too many times on your head. Let's start there. But so when I was working for the team and I was the post-game radio host, we were going into my second season as the co-host with John Bloom. And he and I were at waiting for a meeting at the radio station. And John gets a call from someone that I can hear start yelling on the phone to him, right? I quickly figure out it's the gentleman who sits next to Al McCoy screaming about how I am unfit to be the post-game radio co-host and all sorts of other things, and that I shouldn't have that job. John's sitting next to me, staring at me. I'm sure John's going to love that I'm telling this. And then the phone call ends, and we're like,
This is awkward.
okay. So I proceed to try to be the bigger man, and I call the gentleman that sits next to Al McCoy on the broadcast, and later that day, and I say, hey, I heard you've got an issue with me being on the postgame show. He denies it, right? I've heard everything. He has no clue. I heard everything. He denies it, right? And we wind up having to be co-hosts of the post-game radio show for the remainder of the year.
When was this? What month?
This was my final season with the team.
But like, when did the call happen?
It happened right before the season. It was
so the whole season you guys had to do this?
We went the whole season as co-hosts, and he had no clue I knew about that. So there you go.
Sun's Tales.
And you never told him? You never told him you knew?
No, there's no point in it.
I'd been like, bro, I already know. Let's get this off our chest. Move on.
What I did was I let my skills for a year prove that I deserved to be there, and that was that.
And then you left.
I won, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to leave. I've proven everything I need to prove here. I'm going to go dominate the podcast space.
flip.
You can enjoy this.
You did a hair flip and a walk away.
I'm out.
I like that.
So there's your story. I probably wasn't supposed to tell, but I'll tell anyways.
Yeah, it was harmless.
I'm sure I'll get a phone call tomorrow.
Tell us about that one tomorrow on the show.
Oh yeah, that'll be the next thing I
That's
tell
the
that
next
I'm not
story.
supposed to tell.
Tell us all about that one.
Yeah, there's probably a few more in there, but that was one I definitely have not told ever on a microphone. So
Oh, you guys, have you realized that we have now gotten I want to say 3 in the last 3 months never told stories from Espo.
Oh, I have a really
We are so spoiled.
I have a
right
really
now.
good story about what would have happened if the Suns won the championship.
What do you mean? Are you going to tell us the story?
Yes.
Do
but
I know
won't,
this
I
one,
won't do it.
Saul?
I won't do it today.
You got to check in with Espo first.
No. I'm going to save that.
Oh,
we'll have story
this is
time.
a tease.
We'll have story time periodically.
do I know this one?
I don't. Oh, maybe you do.
Okay,
Maybe you do. Maybe
okay.
you do. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's. Let me just say this: everybody and their mom would have been pissed. So.
Oh, I think I do remember this now.
Wait,
Yeah.
a story of what would have happened had we won the championship in 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Come back maybe Friday night post.
Yeah. Maybe Friday night or
Saturday night.
Saturday,
I don't
yeah.
know. I guess you're just going to have to show up to both to find out which one is story time. We'll
Yep.
see. Before we move on to more conversations around the game and the Suns, I do want to remind you guys that Game Time is a super legit place to go get your tickets to sporting events and concerts, but you want to get them last minute. So it's really great for people who are procrastinators or super spontaneous, because when you buy your tickets last minute, you can save up to 60% on the Game Time app. Again, it's a fantastic way to be able to watch sports, to be able to enjoy concerts with friends and family, and you can get up to 60% off, again, when you buy your tickets last minute. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description of this show. We will also put it in the chat, but just bookmark that link and keep it handy for any time you go somewhere that needs a ticket, and buy it through the Game Time link that we sent you.
I've already started looking for my Taylor Swift tickets.
Have you?
I have. She's coming. It's the first concert of her Eras tour in March next year. And it's already quite expensive, but I've been looking at Game Time already, hoping that I can score a nice deal to go see.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye out on that one. I'm sure you will find some Taylor Swift tickets on the Game Time app, because it's super awesome like that.
Have you seen PDog006 in the chat? Keeps asking me to do ad reads in my Lon Babby voice. I don't even remember doing my Lon Babby voice.
What does it sound like?
I'm not doing it.
Why?
Can you do it this week? Another ad read?
I will
do like an OG's ad read.
These are the ad reads we need to hear. I don't give a fuck about a Nookie Monster or whatever. I want to hear Lon fucking Babby out of your mouth.
I will do that.
That was aggressive.
Next time.
Damn, I just sit through this other bullshit, and now there's something I want to listen to. Let's go.
I will work on it, and I will give you an
Well, we have
ad
no
read.
more ads tonight,
No,
so
no,
we'll have to wait until tomorrow,
Either tomorrow or Friday.
have
Friday
a
or
list?
Saturday or something like that.
He doesn't have a list?
no, it's
Does he have
not-
like
it's
a
not a
fat
list.
tongue or something?
No, it's a very New York nasally voice. So I got to work on it. It's been a while since I've had to use it. So.
Okay, so Gerald is on his way
he's not.
here
Jesus.
just in a few minutes. I
I
know
call
he's
bullshit.
I feel
already
like Santa Claus is going to get here before he does.
he spoke with Cam Johnson already, so I'm sure he's on his way. In the meantime, shall we partake in a waiting for Gerald segment?
We need elevator music.
do
Yeah,
need
where is this
elevator
elevator
music.
music? And you got to do
Waiting
this
for
with your hands
Gerald.
too, chat.
We're still working on it, but it's the waiting for Gerald segment, where we talk about random things until Gerald shows up to the show to give us updates from Monty and the players.
So give us a topic.
Do you guys have any? I have one. So I was given like conversation starters as a gift from a friend of mine recently, and I was looking at some of them. It's like cards,
Okay.
and one of the questions was, what is a place that you would like to travel to that you've never been before, but you also can never go back?
A Phoenix Suns championship parade.
So you only want one. You can never go back to it ever
I'm
again.
done after they win one.
Okay.
I'm walking away.
Well, that's news.
I'm never watching a Suns
So
game
we'll be
again.
looking for a VP of content next
I
year.
didn't say I'm walking away from the business. Just probably the Suns show.
I'm like, all right.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right.
So apparently we're gonna need a new
Co-host.
another co-host.
If you
already
want to
got-
jump on board,
I've already got my replacement picked out.
oh,
Don't
you
you worry.
are. You get to pick the
Wow.
replacement.
As the VP of content,
Wow. I'm feeling some type of way about this right now. I don't know about you, Saul.
Yeah, I might veto that.
I do. Yeah, an actual place.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
that was the more.
mine would be Bora Bora. You know,
Okay.
I want one of those little tiki huts with the glass bottom.
But you
out
can
in the
never
middle of-
go back
That's
ever
fine.
again.
That's
You
fine.
cool
I
with
just want
that?
to try it one time, see
Okay.
what it's like, how it feels, and go.
Okay.
Space. I would pay for one of those
Oh, space is a good one.
multi-million-dollar flights to space. Enjoy it once and never have to go back.
Okay. I feel like I would pick like Antarctica or like the North Pole or something, because hear me out. I'm really curious to know what's there. Like, I want to see it. I want a scientist or somebody to take me and show me like
Where?
Antarctica or something like that.
First of
but
all,
I have no problem. I don't ever need to go back.
There's just no way Antarctica is in the cards for you ever.
This is a hypothetical
No,
question.
yeah,
There's
because
no way I'm actually
first of
going.
all, unless that helicopter literally drops you into where you are staying.
Yeah, that would be the point. That
Like-
would be the goal.
Yeah, but a lot of that shit you have to like dog sled out to and shit.
I don't know. I just think it would be really
Oh my God.
fascinating.
You know what I would rather not do is be with Lindsey on that trip because she would complain about the cold every second.
Yes, but it would be so fascinating. Like, how many people can say they've been there? Not very many. Like, that would be
people
cool.
don't want to go. What about like the
Rick gets it. That's where the aliens live. See?
what about like speaking of that, what about like Area 51?
I mean, that would be pretty dope.
You can actually
or the Bermuda Triangle.
on Airbnb you can rent like a little special thing at Roswell. Apparently that's where the aliens abducted people or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
You can stay in that spot.
I don't know that I would want to. Well,
You may only be able to go once because
I
you
mean,
won't come
maybe.
back.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know. That could be kind of interesting. I don't know. That could be fun. Okay, that was my topic. Do you guys got one?
I do if you
Jeez.
don't.
Go ahead, Emma.
How many chickens do you think it would take to take on a whole elephant? Just one elephant.
Why do we always have these fighting ones?
This
they're
feels very
so
much like a
interesting.
Shane question from last
Yeah,
year.
probably like 2 million.
How many chickens to take on a whole elephant?
2 million.
2 million.
Yeah.
Well, take on like what is the it's been tooken on?
Like,
what
would make it
Took it
a
on.
what?
You have to defeat the elephant.
No. What would make it an even fight?
and even
Yeah.
Chickens low-key can go hard.
You can put some razors on their talons.
oh my god, no, you can't.
I'm going to say two.
What else are you supposed to do? They're
I'm gonna
they're fucking
say-
chickens. They're gonna die.
1,300.
I'm gonna say a million chickens to take on one elephant.
A million
I don't
and 2
know.
million?
Yeah.
I think your guys' number are a little high.
Oh my god.
Thank
Oh,
God,
thank God,
Gerald's
Gerald.
here.
Do you remember the word? Do you remember the word?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I don't. What was
Too
it?
bad. Nope, we're not telling him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hi, Gerald. Come
He's
on
not
in,
even in
Gerald.
here yet. Do you not even know this yet?
What?
He's not even in here yet.
I know.
Welcome.
I'm trying to bring him in.
I know, but he was black
first.
Hi, Gerald.
And he's frozen.
He's just got his headphones in.
Oh.
Hey everybody,
How you doing, Gerald?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm good. So listen, there's so much fun stuff to talk about this game, but the very first thing we have to talk about, of course, is Dario Saric. We got a Dario sighting. Gerald, it happened.
We did. We finally did. I think it might have just been a matchup thing because the Timberwolves are so big, but we're gonna take the W's where we can get them. Monty had said he meant to put Dario back in earlier in that second half when the all bench unit was kind of, struggling out there.
Son of a bitch.
It was good to see him out there, and the ovation that he got when he hit that three was really cool.
So I'm very curious. Is there people talking?
you're
I
or
don't
is
very
even
that
know
people
what's
in the
going on right now.
background?
You're
Okay.
good.
So do you think it was showcasing Dario for a trade? Do you think it's just they finally found a reason to play him? And how excited was that crowd out there to actually see him?
I think it was just a situation where the Timberwolves are huge. They play multiple bigs at the same time. So they were just trying to combat that size a little bit, especially because, Jock didn't have the best game.
Cool. All right. Jock didn't have the best game. This is true.
Let's
It'd go wild when Dario.
let's drop him and have him call back in.
Yeah. Sorry.
God, the Wi-Fi out there sucks.
Like it just got worse all of a
It's
sudden.
like their
know.
Wi-Fi router is like some crazy potato or something. They're
You
like-
would think
Yeah.
that brand new arena, state of the art,
You'd
all
think.
the
Sponsored by
technology,
Verizon.
you'd have some bomb ass Wi-Fi. That's
why I got T-Mobile,
I
so-
don't know. Let's
Get
try one more
All
time.
right. Last one from Roswell. Here we go.
Just kidding.
All right. There's Gerald.
a great
it's
look.
It's a cleaner screen, so he must be on his
So
phone now.
yeah, he's putting it on his phone now. So hopefully this will work similar to what we got on
Oh.
Sunday night.
maybe.
We'll
This
see.
is just thrilling.
Yeah,
especially
fantastic for the audio listeners. Yeah, for sure.
But first, we
While you wait, let's give you this ASMR. Just kidding.
hello. We've muted Gerald. Well, I love that we
It's Josh's brother's fault. Listen, Josh in the
Yeah.
chat said my brother worked on the server room during the renovation, so it makes sense why it sucks.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get Gerald back or not, but I think we wrapped up this whole thing pretty nicely. I think we covered all the points. Listen, the Suns are one of the best teams in the NBA. I know a lot of people were saying the Bucks too. Yeah, the Bucks have been fantastic as well. But again, it's just kind of amazing after all this stuff in the offseason and the drama. And there was drama. We can't just ignore the fact that there was drama. At the end of the day, this is still a very veteran team, and they know how to play the game at a high level. And they get through it. And it doesn't matter what they do against the Adelaide 36ers. It matters what they do against the big boys like the Warriors and the Clippers. That's what they've done so far.
I agree. So you know how I was going to get him to say what we were trying to get him to say? I say, if you're not away, you're
home.
And my last name starts with
That's not.
There you go, homie. Done.
But that doesn't. The homie.
Look, we were struggling. He wasn't going to say it, and then his Wi-Fi dropped
I'm
out,
shocked that he didn't say it. But anyway, whatever. Well,
this was a thrilling end.
Oh well.
Listen, I'll tell you, Gerald. Oh,
no.
Are we trying again or not?
No.
Let's just try it one more time. One more time.
Why do I feel like Totri's sabotaging us again?
Yeah. Sounds about right. One more
time.
All
right, Gerald, can you hear us? Yeah.
Hello,
it's not going to work. That's fine. Let's just cancel it. All right.
Well, here, I can tell you this. Gerald's, definitely going to write an article with all the notes and quotes from the players and Monty, and that'll be available at gophnx.com. So check that out. And, of course, we'll have a show tomorrow at 3 p.m. live right here on our YouTube channel. Of course, it'll also be available wherever you listen to your podcast. And we'll share all of that information with you tomorrow.
Buy a ticket to our takeover.
Yes, do that too. Until we see you guys tomorrow, make sure you follow me on Twitter at LindseySmithAZ. Follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. Follow Gerald at Gerald Bourguet. And of course, follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Just a reminder, if I'm your employee, you should probably make me sign an NDA. Ahoy, hoy.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saul pass the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the fan.